Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire August 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7Ts. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7ts.com.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
I'm a happy-faced truck today.
Now, July is going to be a hot month weather-wise, y'all. But the deals on portable buildings at Best Way Portable Buildings will cool things down. Stop by and see owner Jason Mulder and let him help you choose just the right building for your needs. Best Way Portable Buildings is located just north of the Old Mall, Highway 231, Panama City, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Best Way Portable Buildings, the best in portable, period.
And a Golden Age builder.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios.
Dashed away and intercepted. Ball game. The fairy tale continues.
The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air.
And the breakthrough for the U.S.
4.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome. You are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm your host today, Paul Wilson, and it's so good to be here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida to start out your Monday afternoon. We're excited to have you here. Joining us here at the spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Tonight, the Braves will be in Kansas City, and they'll be facing the Royals. Start time is 6 p.m. First pitch is at 6:40. I'm joined today with a local guy by the name of Chef Ross. What's going on, Chef?
It's hot out there. Happy Monday, everybody.
All right. And we got the man running the ones and the twos in there for us, Bone Crusher. How's it going today?
Bueller.
Welcome in.
Hey, all right. Good to have you. Oh, man. So today is our first show where I will start being your host. So I'm excited about doing that, and just been co-hosting some a little bit, and things worked out, and I am your new host for the Afternoon Underdogs. And so with that being said, thank you for all that are listening. I want to give a little bit of an intro. I love Alabama football, so we will be talking a lot of Alabama football here. But I'm a college football fan. I'm a baseball fan, NFL fan, pretty much every kind of fan there is. And, so I'm excited about just talking about a lot of sports. Now, this show will be a show of opinionations, which means we'll be opinionated here. And so we might have some opinions you agree with and some that you don't. So we'd like to hear you call in, text, whatever it is, on the Red 17's text line, 850-215-6290. So, Chef, I know we've talked and been on some shows together, but, I just would like to tell you a little bit about myself and tell the audience a little bit about myself. Married. I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'm married with 4 children.
Over 21.
Over 21, that is correct. Played a lot of baseball throughout my life and played high school baseball, high school basketball, played college basketball.
D1?
Nope, JUCO. I was a JUCO over in Alabama, and but that was a different time because back then you played against some of the best talent because a lot of times people couldn't make the grades or they didn't do. There was a lot of things that you had to do, like clearinghouse and stuff like that. And if you didn't do that kind of stuff, you didn't. You couldn't play Division I basketball. So that was one of those things. that I got to experience, and it was awesome. Plays against some of the top talent in the nation, and really had a good time with that. Got hurt and was able to move on after that, and became a police officer in the good old city of Mobile, Alabama. Did that for 5.5 years, and so had some fun doing that. And but anyway, lived in Kentucky for a little while. That's where I met and married my wife. And we've had our kids with us, and it's just been awesome. And about 7 years ago, we bought a condo and decided 2.5 years ago to move into that condo, to move down to start beach life. And so we love this 110-degree weather that is out there. So if you're out there right now and you're saying it's miserable, but just believe me, the Kentucky winters are terrible, and it will make you want to move here to the South and enjoy and endure this heat.
So if I have a friend who is pondering a still, since you've got all that time in Kentucky, would you be able to help my friend out?
I have no idea of what you're talking about. So
Distilled water.
No, just water and more water. So
did you ever bust any stills, or what was your big bust as a police officer in Mobile?
Well, and
take any down?
Yeah, there was some big busts. We had some big busts in Alabama. A lot of drugs and guns and stolen property. So that was some of the biggest stuff that I got to do with, and work with the FBI on some stuff. So it was kind of cool working over there in Mobile. It was pretty tough over there. There's some characters, so to speak, over there. And so anyway, just always love sports. And one of the things that I can attribute it to is that the first person that I ever got to ask a question to I was a little boy. I was 8 years old, and Hank Aaron came to the University of South Alabama to do like a little question and answer deal. And so with that, I was able to ask him a question. And so that's where my if you wanted to say that's where it all began, that's where it all began, with asking Hank Aaron a question. I asked him about, how do you line up your hands on the bat? And he said, it doesn't matter, just whatever's comfortable for you. And so either way, with that, it's just it has always just been one of those things. And then as a boy, listening to Alabama football on the radio with Eli Gold, which you probably don't know him, but either way, I know you're from Milwaukee, so either way, Eli Gold was the standard by which Alabama football was called. Just a great voice and just a great broadcaster for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So enough about me. One thing I do want to share about the show is that if you have an opinion, if you have something that you disagree with us on, I want you to call in and tell us, because, I love good conversation, and we want to make this show awesome, as being with the Afternoon Underdogs. So, just if there's anything that you disagree with, if you like, and or want to comment about, you can call in, text in 850-215-6290 on the Red 7T's phone line. The one thing about it that I failed to mention is that I did say that I love Alabama, but one of the things that
Yeah, you did.
I think I've said that like 3 times now.
At least.
The one thing that I do want to make sure that I say is I really don't like Ohio State. So that is one of the things that I will go ahead and throw out there right off the bat.
There's your chance, Ohio State, Brad. Call in.
Yeah, so I do not like Ohio State, but I love Alabama. So either way, as we move on, we're going to move on. Enough about me, enough about this and that. I just want to go into, we got some breaking news that just came across the line today. Deion Sanders had his press conference today at 11 o'clock, and he has come out with his doctors and decided to tell everybody that he had bladder cancer, but they have taken out his bladder, and now prime time is cancer-free. So he is cancer-free.
No bladder, no big toe.
Yeah. So yeah, he's had some big time medical issues. He's had some.
Can he still be called primetime now?
Yeah, he's still primetime. He's still prime. I was thinking he was going to quit. I honestly was thinking Shadur has moved on. His other son had moved on. So I was thinking that it was all going to be over with.
The cupboard's pretty bare in Colorado.
Yeah, that it was going to be, one of those things to where it would be an easy out for him. His sons are already playing in the NFL, are going to be in the NFL. And, his time at Colorado was probably going to come to an end. But boy, was I wrong. And I think for the most part, America needs him still in college football. And I still believe that people want to see what he's going to do without his sons. Because if you think about it, I remember several years back that he had been coaching him in high school.
Yeah, he's coached Shadur every level. Pop Warner, middle school, high school, JUCO, or first college, Jackson State, and then Colorado.
Yeah, so he's coached him at every level, and now he's not in the NFL with him to coach him. So now I just figured, well, he would just be done with it. But obviously he's going to stick around and stay in Colorado. Now, how long? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how that works out. But
his daughter still goes to Boulder, correct?
I believe so. I believe
she plays volleyball?
I believe she plays volleyball, yeah. I believe you're right. I'm not 100% on that. We can check that later. But
I'm not sure in what sport, but I've heard that she's a collegiate athlete for Colorado. So at least until she graduates.
Yeah, so I mean, I could see him, waiting it out for her and waiting. Yeah.
She saves a scholarship on the volleyball team because I believe family of our staff
get free education. Free education. Well, that's pretty good. So, yeah, so Deion is coming back. He's going to be there. I know that he was battling some health issues, and we didn't know what it was. Everybody was, kind of kept in the dark, but he finally came out. And
do you really believe he kept his family in the dark?
No, I believe the family knew.
Because what I heard is it was around the draft time, and he kept Shadur and Shiloh in the dark so they could focus on the NFL and the draft.
Yeah.
That's a little bit too big to keep a secret.
Yeah, I think they all knew. I think the family knew, but man, they kept it really good because nobody knew. Everybody acted as though it was just, breaking news because nobody knew. I thought without a doubt, if you'd have asked me last night.
You told me last night.
I told you last night when we were talking, I said, I believe Deion's going to call it quits. I think he's going to be done. I think he's going to be done with football. I think he's going to just be a dad and be a fan with his kids. And boy, was I wrong. And I think, like I said before, I think college football is better with Deion in it, because I just believe he brings something to the table with his style and brashness.
He's very, very polarizing, and I don't think he gets a fair shake for what he does.
No, I don't
I believe
so.
There's a certain demographic that is, A, doesn't believe him, and B, is waiting for him to fail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, when you think about it, you got people on both sides of the spectrum just about every time.
But I feel with Coach Prime, it's more, I can't wait for him to fail so I can rub it in his face than it is I want to see him succeed. There's no way he can be that much of a leader and really care about all the student athletes that he's playing for.
Yeah, and
I was in that camp, especially when he first got there and sent the whole team home.
Yeah.
His first year when he recruited 65 new transfers.
When he had all the new transfers, when he come in and said, Shadur, if you want to look at who the QB1 is without a practice, without a throw, without anything, obviously he knew what he could do. But
and then this year, Shadur having his number retired.
Yeah, for 13 and 12, and that just was, some of the things that he goes through is sometimes self-inflicted.
Yeah.
He definitely has a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but I believe he's also one of those guys that, as many as people that wish that he fails, I believe that there's a lot of people that believe, that want him to succeed.
I love his message that I'm hearing through social medias and the 4 letters in Bristol. I'm loving that message. But then I'm looking and seeing I'm going to retire Shadur Sanders' number for doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, let's make no mistake, and as a dad, I can understand that you're your child's biggest fan, no doubt. But, there has to be that little bit of you got to separate yourself from dad to be coach. And I remember watching the draft, and it was really hard to watch. I mean, and again,
I was cheering for the kid. Well, outside of the first round. Once the second round started, that's when I was cheering for the kid because I didn't see he had first round talent.
He built a box with it had legendary all over it. I know we've talked about this from time, but just to think of the way that he presented himself and then the drop, I mean, it was worse than the Aaron Rodgers drop that we saw back when Aaron Rodgers was sitting in the green room and he just kept sitting.
It was worse than.
Yeah, this had to be the worst.
It was worse
ever.
than the stock market crash in 06.
Yeah, I believe that. It was just really tough because when he, and the way that he played and the I would just say talking about the cockiness of how he played, some people don't like that, and no doubt that, I was hoping that they were going to do good so then they would get to the opportunity to really play against the top teams.
So, Kenny Pickett got hurt. Mm-hmm. So then I walked by the TV at work today and just happened to glance over and Get Up is showing that breaking news, Shedeur Sanders is taking first-team reps. Of course he is. The other guy's hurt. He can't take those reps.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is that when Kenny got hurt, I believe he's going to be out for like 2 weeks. They already know what Joe Flacco brings to the table. There's pretty good film on Joe. You know what you're going to get when you get Joe. So that means that him and Dylan Gabriel are going to have to kind of fight it out to see who can do better. And I believe just because of Shedeur being a polarizing figure that he is, there's going to be a lot of media coverage. And if he somehow, some way comes out of that and is able to be the Browns quarterback, and, because Kenny Pickett, to me, he's not a lock to be great. I mean, he wasn't great.
He's had his chance over and over.
He wasn't great with the Steelers. He just did the mop-up duty with the Eagles. And I don't believe that I don't believe he's the answer long-term anyway.
I think Joe Flacco's day one starter, opening day.
Yeah, I believe that Joe Flacco's probably, I don't know. It just depends. If Kenny Pickett can come in and look good, I believe they'll give him a shot because they did spend no money on him and brought him back.
I see him as trade bait.
But I just don't know who would want him. That's the thing. I don't see who would want Kenny Pickett to come in. And what is he going to be? He's going to definitely be a backup. And then you got to think of all the young talent that's in. You got to think of some of the guys that are getting their second shots already, like your Justin Fields and things like that, or third shots.
Actually, in all honesty, I want whatever supplements that Myles Garrett is taking to go out and say he sees the Browns in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, well,
I need those supplements in my life.
He's taking supplements and probably something else if he sees that, because
I'm sitting next to a cop. I have to use the word supplements.
Well, used to be, but the easy way to say is that the Browns, there's just no possible way that they're going to be in any kind. I don't even see them making the playoffs because they got to get their quarterback situation done. You cannot win in the NFL any longer without a good quarterback, good starting quarterback, and then you got to have some type of a serviceable backup, or else, as you can see in the past, things just go downhill really fast. But if you look at the way that Shedeur comes in, he now has
a lot of humble pie.
Yeah, he's having to eat that pie, but now things are kind of lining up that if he was to go out there and really show that he can be that type of guy that can lead a team and that he can win the locker room and make it to where he understands, because they're saying he's throwing after practice with the receivers. He looked good on Friday when they were doing the 11 on 11. I did see one touchdown that he threw.
And the other truth of the matter is Stefanski didn't want him.
Right. This was a Jimmy Haslam deal. Jimmy Haslam wanted...
Because if Stefanski wanted him, they would have taken him in that spot in the third round where they took Gabriel.
Right. And, I mean, if you remember, though, and I hate to just keep diving back into the draft, but, there was wonders that he wasn't going to go in the first round. All eyes were on the draft.
He was supposed to be number one.
Where was Shedeur going to go? That was day one's question of the day for the most part, for most people. Everybody knew Travis Hunter, everybody knew Abdul Carter, but the question was going to be, where was Shedeur Sanders going to go? And when you look at it, and he kept dropping and dropping and dropping and never got the call, and then they kept showing the Sanders family, they kept showing it the second day, the third day, and then when he finally got drafted, it was like, oh, this is where it was supposed to be.
I couldn't turn my eyes away from the TV after he fell from the Saints. So was it 48-ish?
Somewhere around there, yeah. And so when you look at what Shedeur did for the draft, there was more people watching. I remember going out to eat that on one of the nights, or maybe even both of the nights. And it was like everybody was tuned in. Everybody was looking at the ticker at the bottom on ESPN to see whether or not Shedeur Sanders have gotten...
Or checking their text.
Yeah,
checking their phone for notifications.
just seeing if he got drafted. And so with that, with all of the hoopla is what I would like to call it, that he came into the NFL with, and then when you see him come in, and now there's possibly, you get a hurt starter, QB1, who they were going to go with at the beginning. You've got an old Joe Flacco, and then you got him and another rookie battling it out. And they've already made statements about Dylan Gabriel's not tall enough, and is he fast enough? Can he read defenses fast enough? And even one of the shows early on this morning I was listening to, they were talking about that Dylan Gabriel probably is nothing more than a backup for his whole career anyway. So, I mean, for Shedeur Sanders to get this opportunity and to really be able to get to the place to where he can lead the Browns team and the Brown faithful, because that's a big fan base. Regardless of their lackluster winning percentages, and their fan base is one of the most lively charged fan bases in the National Football League. And if Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, can come in there, win the starting job, begin to be their big starter for the Browns, and possibly somehow, what's the number? I mean, what are we looking? If he can win 6 games as a Browns starter, I mean, are we looking at...
They're retiring his jersey in Cleveland, too.
They're going to retire the jersey in Cleveland. But if he could win 6 games in Cleveland, I believe the next year's draft, they won't go after a quarterback. But if he can't get in there and do anything, I say this to end the conversation. Shedeur Sanders will not be a Cleveland Brown if he does not win the starting job this year and actually win some games and so show some positivity for that team going forward, because they got high round draft picks next year coming into 2026. So if he doesn't do this, you can look for Shedeur Sanders to be going somewhere else and looking to be to fight for being a quarterback in the National Football League. Now, the one other thing that I'd like to say about it is that if Shedeur Sanders does not find a starting job within 5 years,
he's gone.
He's done.
I give it 3.
3 years. I'll say 5. I'll say he'll still try to get it, but I believe that it'll be a 5-year window, and then we will be able to see whether or not he's going to be successful for the Cleveland Browns or whoever gives him a shot. Because I thought he was going to go to New York. Everybody did. Everybody thought he was going to go to the Giants, but they never wanted him.
Pulled away a couple weeks before the draft.
Yeah. He didn't want it. Brian Dabble didn't want him.
And the very telling thing is there's no team in the NFL that spent more time filming, scouting, talking to Shedeur Sanders than the New York Football Giants.
Yeah. And so that's the thing.
What happened? Was that the team that he walked in and said, I don't want to play for you?
I don't think so.
But he has the Giants
that big market. Right. I think he wanted the market.
So there was that team where he walked in and says, why am I here? I won't even be around when you pick.
Right. So, I mean, and that's the thing with him.
And apparently he was 7 or 5 times.
Yeah, and that's where his disdainment from NFL football fans come from, right there, because of that too much of cockiness that just is not one of those things that nobody likes. I don't care how good you are. They don't like it. You can be arrogant at times, but man, just walking in there as a rookie doing that, I don't care who your dad is. I don't care what your record at Colorado was. I don't care what your record at Jackson State was. I want the kid to do well if he can do well, but I'm not a huge fan for him.
I want to see all kids succeed. I want to see everybody succeed. But I think tide raises all ships.
Right, and that's not relevant. That's not going to happen. There's going to be failure, as you always see. So really, in the meantime, we've got a quarterback battle going on in Cleveland. We will keep a magnifying glass on it to see whether or not Shedeur Sanders is going to be able to beat out Dylan Gabriel, and I believe Joe Flacco. I believe that Kenny Pickett will come back. I don't know if he'll be ready. They might give him the start, just in the preseason just to see where he's at. But I guess really we can't really say, because practice, I hate to do the Allen Iverson Practice?
That was
talking
today?
about
No,
practice.
that was yesterday, the anniversary of that.
Right. So either way, we're talking about practice, but until we see the preseason games, I don't believe we're going to be able to know exactly what we're going to have.
Did you see J.J. Watt's tweet the other day?
I didn't.
About how it's 100% stupid to chart practice reps.
Oh, okay. Well, I agree with him. I think, and he should know.
Because the coach could be working on this thing. The defensive coach could be working on that thing. So who cares what you do in practice? It's not about completing the pass.
Right.
It's about make sure this kid runs a crisp, complete route. It's about let's let this DB play inside technique one time, outside technique the other time. Hey, why don't we rush 4 guys on this side? Why don't we see what happens when we blitz that guy?
Yeah. And see, that's the thing, too. I mean, those guys know. And, I mean, you can do all this, but it's for the media. It's for the fans. It's for people to be able to talk like what we're doing today, to be able to talk. Because we talked like 10 minutes now about Shadur Sanders, who's possibly going to be cut at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, or possibly could be the starter for the Cleveland Browns going into the first game of the season. So, I mean, we really don't know. But thank you for all of the practice notes so that we can talk about it, so that we can get it going. And now we're going to go ahead and go to our first break of the day. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Hall of Fame baseball induction ceremony. And I am aggravated. When we get back, we're going to talk about it. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. You've read the headlines. You've seen the highlights.
Highway robbery!
But how about the unfiltered truth?
I saw where they're going to allow beer sold at the new sports complex, yet we can't have a cold beer on the beach.
Since 2017, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed leader for sports coverage on the Panhandle. If it matters in sports, it matters to us, and it matters to you. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunny the rest of the day with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 96. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Partly sunny and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 91. A likelihood of thunderstorms Wednesday with a temp of 88. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction, be part of a winning team.
Don't just stand there. Everything you need to turn $1 into an epic win is in your hand. Hard Rock Bet. Bet it, parlay it, boost it. However you want to do it. From wherever you are to the moon. Bet anytime a line, prop, or parlay catches your eye. And withdraw cash when you want it. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Chop on, Braves fans.
That is gone!
Since 2017, your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Afternoon Underdogs with Paul Wilson. And we're so glad to have you here on this Monday afternoon. And we are in the CBC Construction Studio. Personal friend of mine, Stephen Clements, just doing a great job over there with CBC, my buddy. Did you get a chance to watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremony on Sunday?
I did not, and it's one of my favorite sports days of the year. It just slipped my mind that it was this past weekend, and I feel terrible for saying no.
Yeah, well, the baseball gods are going to give you a chance after the show to make up for it. So next year you got to watch it because there's not anybody that's going to get inducted next year.
There's nobody new on the ballot.
That's going to be very good. So who'd you say was the best? He was the pitcher for the Phillies.
Cole Hamels.
Cole Hamels is on the ballot next year. Go ahead and everybody vote for Cole Hamels.
And Ryan Braun.
Oh, man, Ryan.
Like I sent you that article, and it's just terrible.
Yeah, it's a terrible year next year.
Don't get me wrong. None of these players are terrible players. They're all of really good at best.
Right. Yeah, just good players, good baseball players. And don't get me wrong, if you make it to the Major League Baseball level and if you make it to the farm league, if you play professional baseball, they pay you to play this game, you are an exceptionally great baseball player. Don't get us wrong, but to be in the Hall of Fame, you just have to be a little bit better than some of the people that they put up. It's
the class that retired, so you just got to. You have good classes and bad classes. This year,
and
next year happens to be a bad class.
Yeah. So this year's class, pretty good class. You had Dick Allen, which obviously he was a long time ago. But the one crazy thing about him is that he swung a 42-ounce bat. And if you think of the man that you have to be able to swing a 42-ounce bat, because let's put it in perspective,
that's got to be guess and check hitting.
Oh, well, I mean, he's still...
Because you got to start it early.
You got to start early, but man, they said his hands were just ginormous, and he was like just really strong. But Aaron Judge only swings a 33-ounce bat. So just to put that in perspective, just to think about, because, you know, how big Aaron Judge is.
That's half of a bat difference.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, it's crazy. So Dick Allen got selected, no qualms there. Dave Parker, the Cobra.
Finally.
Yeah, the Cobra for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's all of the We Are Family team now, right?
I believe so.
At least all that are noteworthy.
Right, yeah, because you had like Bill Matlock, that was a great player for them. But I don't believe he's in the Hall, but I don't think he should be either. But Dave Parker, one of those guys from Cincinnati, Ohio, just a great athlete. I mean, just one of those guys that just
I felt bad, but he died 2 months before.
He died. Yeah, but what
2 months before the nomination, before he found out. So he never found out he was a Hall of Famer.
I don't know if he did or not, because he already wrote his speech.
I think his son said he gave that to him like 15 years ago.
Okay, he did. Okay. Well, all I know is that his son read what he wanted to talk about.
That poem was,
and then
I did read the poem. Well, I tried to read the poem.
Yeah, it was pretty touching. I mean, but like, it was just good for baseball to get it right, because that's one of those things where, you know, a lot of times they get it wrong, and it's just, you know, you applaud. Or you get aggravated when they get it wrong. And then on the flip side, sometimes we don't applaud when they get it right. Dave Parker deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, 2 seasons in a row, he was the best player in baseball. You know, he's what Ohtani is to our league right now as far as being the best player.
If Ohtani retires today, is he in?
Absolutely. Because what he's done, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Just let me say my piece on this.
I haven't said a word.
He is he's already made the mark, because I'm not a longevity stats guy. I'm more about right now, and are you dominant for the time period? So he's going on to is it his 4th or 5th season?
So he's getting to the longevity point.
So he's at the 4th or 5th season of Major League Baseball, and to me, he's already, for the last 2 years, has been the best player on the field every time he steps into a stadium. So to me, what he's done, you can add now to his resume, World Series champ. Yeah. You know, his pitching in when he was with the Angels was lights out. I mean, the numbers, and I've got some stats on it. I'll have to look it up at the break, but he has some of the stats that some of the greats, as far as Babe Ruth and...
There's 2 people in the category, Shohei and Babe Ruth.
Right. And so, to me, that's what you do. So something, obviously, we don't want anything to happen to him, but if something were to happen to him, I believe right in, right now, absolutely he's done enough because, just the longevity deal.
Yeah.
We don't need to see him hitting 250, hitting 25 home runs and knocking in, 60 RBIs for the year and not stealing but maybe 5 bases. We don't need to see that part of his career. But right now, in which he's not slowing down any. So, if especially with the trajectory that he's taken right now, there's a possibility that one day we will be having this conversation, or there will be the conversation made that Shohei Ohtani, is he the greatest baseball player to ever lace up a pair of cleats?
I can see that.
Yeah. And so with that, saying that, to me, that's why I put him in the Hall of Fame right now, no matter what he does anymore after this season.
Yeah, I forgot it's been 5 years, and 5 years of domination is a long time. It's not Ken Caminiti wins the MVP one year, and then hits 222 the rest of his life.
Right. Correct.
So if you're in the right here right now, his MVP year, Hall of Fame.
Right.
The rest of his career says Hall of Average.
Hall of Average.
He was on steroids throughout his entire career, and his MVP season was 100%.
That's true. And let's move on to the next guy, CC Sabathia, a mountain of a man. Definitely deserved it. Was awesome. He played with your Brewers.
No, he carried my Brewers.
So he was. Yeah, they rode his back the whole time. Not Ryan Braun, but CC Sabathia for sure. I mean, and then went on to the wear the pinstripes.
Ryan Braun made me question my whole entire life. And if you want, we can get into that later.
We can talk about that later. Billy Wagner. I mean, one of those guys. Crazy story about Billy Wagner. At 10 years old, he was outside, broke his arm. He was right-handed, and learned how to throw left-handed just because his right arm was broken, and he became a Major League Baseball pitcher, and now he's a Major League Hall of Famer from throwing with that left arm. So pretty phenomenal to do something like that. I couldn't imagine, going out there and being like, well, now that I can't throw with my right arm, I'm going to throw with my left arm and just learn how to do it and then be at the top of your game. All the saves, never started a game in the major leagues, which was kind of crazy, but was the best, in his era, being a closer. So one of those things that's just crazy to look at.
Second best in his era.
Who's the first best?
Dude from the Yankees.
Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
He's already in the. He's already
in there, but that's the same era.
We'll say National League era.
I'll give you.
So we'll go with that. And then finally, Ichiro Suzuki, making the first Japanese player to be entered into the Hall of Fame. Pretty cool to hear him give his speech, and some of the things he said. He was pretty comical. One thing that was crazy about him that I just really. While he was playing, you paid attention to him. He was, fast. He had a great arm, great glove. He made contact. But the fact is that he didn't hit the ball extremely hard. He's not going to be your exit velo guy at all.
He's the guy that if I had a son, this is how you play the game, son. Watch Ichiro.
Yeah. I mean,
got
because
2 strikes,
he played
you
every
choke
time.
up.
Yeah.
And you put the ball in play.
Yeah, you just make
the ball in play.
Yeah.
Strikeouts are terrible. The runners don't advance when you strike out.
No, they can't move. They can't go anywhere. And they can't make an error if you strike out.
The defense can't make an error.
Yeah. So, and a lot of those things, his first hit was like a
You
blooper.
play defense very well.
Yeah. His first at bat was a hit up the middle, and it probably took 12 bounces in before it got to the outfield.
I thought it was a Texas.
It was just terrible. It was straight up the middle because his last at bat was almost the same exact.
I thought it was a
hit.
Texas leaguer over the shortstop's head, but
no, it was straight up the middle because they showed his first at bat and then his last at bat, and they were both the same hits up the middle. Just nothing really crazy.
Because I guarantee you, every pitcher in the league hated facing Ichiro because you can't get him out.
Yeah,
because he puts the ball in play.
He does. And that's the thing about these guys. Great. Now, Ichiro had 117 home runs. That's not bad for
I wouldn't have guessed that high.
Yeah. I mean, he hit 117 home runs. He said he was 5'11", but I believe he's 5'9". He probably weighed 165 pounds with, soaking
lead in his shoes.
He had 3,000 hits, and so that was an awesome moment. Me and my wife was sitting there watching it, and it was great to hear all the stories about them and all that. And then before all of it started, this is where it's getting ready to get crazy.
I was waiting to see you get mad.
This is where it's get crazy right here. Before it starts, so the Hall of Fame, what they will do is they will invite a certain amount of Hall of Famers to come in that's already got their bronze. What do they call it? The
bust.
Bronze bust. Yeah, so they're bust. And so they start walking them in, and they give every person. Me and my wife, we were playing this little game just to see if I could name them, because they would say this person did this and played for, whoever, and I was getting them, pretty good. And all of a sudden, they said Jeff Bagwell, Houston Astros, and I had no idea.
2 years ago?
I had no idea. I'm not 100% sure. I had no idea that Jeff Bagwell had started or had made the Hall of Fame. And then it got worse. The second one after him was Craig Biggio. Craig Biggio for the Houston Astros. Now, if there's any Astros fans out there, 850-215-6290. Please call in, please text, tell me what you think. But I'm just going to say for me, if you looked at Jeff Bagwell back in the day, he wasn't very big, but then when he started hitting more home runs, he looked like he was a gym rat. He looked like he never left the gym. Yeah. And I was just like, I looked it up just to see, and there was controversy on whether or not Jeff Bagwell was using steroids. And then I was like, wait a minute, I think Craig Biggio was the same thing. They were playing the same era. They were both really good players, don't get me wrong.
Biggio never bulked up, though.
He bulked up a little bit. If you looked at him, because he was a catcher, and then he went to second base.
And then center field.
Yeah, so he got bigger as he got older. Now, in not my case where you get fatter, but his was muscle. And so the fact of the matter is that I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I would go ahead and bet the farm that Jeff Bagwell done steroids. If the Hall of Fame says no steroids, then how in the world are we going to have Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio lined up, sitting down in the back, and saying that they are Hall of Famers when they definitely were on steroids during that time period?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I agree with you on Bagwell that he was taking something other than a protein shake.
Right.
But there was never any proof. They never failed a test.
Right.
So therefore, you can't look at where there's smoke, there's fire.
He was on one of the lists that was in question. I don't know if he was on the exact Balco list. I don't know if he was on Jose Canseco's list, but he was on a list. I'd have to look back over my notes to see what list he was on. But Jeff Bagwell,
and what helps him, he was nice to the media. If Barry Bonds was nice to the media, Barry Bonds would have 100%.
If they put if they're saying no to steroids, they're saying no steroids.
Barry Bonds, first ballot Hall of Famer with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He's the first ballot Hall of Famer regardless of steroids or not.
Exactly. So with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
Before McGuire, before Sosa.
Right.
Barry Bonds, first ballot Hall of Famer.
I believe so.
But now, because of the steroids,
right,
because of his relation with the media and who's the voters,
you're right,
he's not in.
Yeah. But I just think it's so hypocritical to have all of this stuff talking about steroids and how everybody's like, oh, anti-steroids. Barry Bonds shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Mark McGuire shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
McGuire should not be in the Hall of Fame.
All of these guys should be in the Hall of Fame.
No.
If Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio is in the Hall of Fame, there's no possible way Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, I would even be closer.
McGuire and Sosa both Hall of Very Good, not Hall of Fame.
I think for what
they did one thing elite.
I think,
and the steroids is what benefited their one thing elite. They were not elite defenders. They were not elite batting average. They were not elite base stealers.
Mark McGuire was a mound of a man when he came into the Major League Baseball. When he was playing for the A's, when they were
his best friend?
When they won their championships, the Bash brothers, right? Jose Canseco. But he
wrote a little book.
He was there's a little book with all the information. But he was the one, and I believe that post steroids, okay, if you want to take those numbers out and then look at them to see whether or not his Oakland Athletic, I understand that after Jose was there and they started bashing and you could see the difference because he was a mound of a man already. He was already big. He was already strong. He was already hitting home runs. He wasn't hitting 60 every year like that, but he was still hitting he was still hitting a lot of home runs. And so for me, if you're going to put my whole gripe and aggravation about all of this is that if you're going to put Craig Biggio, if you're going to put Jeff Bagwell on the Hall of Fame list and not only put him on the list, but you're going to vote him in, you have to look at Mark McGwire. You have to look at Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens, for his era, was probably one of, if not the most dominant pitchers. And he was a mean pitcher, too. He wasn't one of those pitchers that would just finesse you.
He's got 5 Cy Youngs, right? Or is it 7?
I don't have any idea. I just know he was one of the best at the time. And if Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame because of steroids, and if Mark McGwire is not in the Hall of Fame because of steroids.
He shouldn't have given his dog the steroids.
And if, well, that's true. And
I didn't take them. My dog took them. My wife took them. My neighbor took them. My best friend took them. But I'm clean.
100%. Barry Bonds, I'm saying it today.
I agree.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. No doubt. 100%. I don't care who's voting, what you're voting about. If you're going to use steroids as your mark against them, then I believe, honestly, I understand what you're saying. I get it. I'm okay with the fact of no proof.
He is, Bonds has proof.
Well, I'm talking about Bagwell. I'm going back to Bagwell. I know you said there wasn't like the proof that like McGwire and Canseco and Sosa and all of the others. Rafael Palmeiro, great hitter before. He was a great hitter before. So
I never took steroids. 2 weeks later, you're suspended.
Right. And so the thing is, if Jeff Bagwell can be in the Hall of Fame, if Craig Biggio can be in the Hall of Fame, to me, those guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Like I've hammered home, look at their relationship with the sports writers. Who's the ones that fill out the ballots and bring people in? Those same exact sports writers that hold a huge grudge.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. Ichiro told him yesterday, I don't know if you saw the clip or not, Ichiro said there was one sports writer that voted against him going into the Hall of Fame, and he just wanted to let that guy know that his invitation to come to his house and have dinner has expired. No thank you, no more for you. You can't come. But that's it for this segment. For when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more baseball, and then we're going to dive into some of the football stuff that's happening. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 Studio Line. Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Line play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunny the rest of the day with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 96. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Partly sunny and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 91. A likelihood of thunderstorms Wednesday with a temp of 88. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Show off your style and drive away in a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 from Bill Bird Kia. The 2025 K4 delivers sleek design, smart safety features, and an impressive fuel efficiency. Are you looking for something with a little more space and a confident, sporty appeal? The 2025 Kia K5 delivering a sleek design, smooth ride, and advanced driver's assistant features, all designed to keep you safe and comfortable on every drive. Now offering 2.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. Discover what drives you at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 with $22.09 per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 8/4/25.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Don't call it a podcast.
Frequency modulation is a big step forward in radio.
Broadcasting live from the world's most beautiful beaches. The Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
All right, here we go. We are back with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget to call or text the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290, here in your CBC Construction Studios. You know, Chef, as we started talking about it, you know, it just made me want to talk more about the fact of the matter is that they started once Pete Rose passed away. We're going to open this can of worms while we're here. They opened up the opportunity now because after he passed away that now, he's probably going to be eligible. And there's a good chance, I don't know the rules or the formats or anything like that because I didn't even think about it. But next year, possibly, could we see Pete Rose coming across the line? I don't know how long they're going to wait, but there's a possibility that Pete could come across. Now, I'm on the fence of I believe that a lot more people have done a lot of things. If we start looking back at all of the bad things that these pro athletes have done over their lifespan that would probably make all of their grandmas cover their eyes, how do we just nitpick the things that we want to use? Your steroids, your gambling, obviously your criminal acts of violence or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that this is the Hall of Fame of baseball. This is not the Hall of Fame of human character. Now, I do believe that there should be some type of character, but I don't think that they should make one. Again, I'm going back to my Bagwell deal. I don't think that they should just make, he was never found guilty, or he was not on the big Balco list, or, he wasn't in Jose Canseco's book, so we're going to let him go. We're not going to look at his numbers. We're not going to look at his growth. We're just going to say, he just was in the gym all the time, and he was taking his steroids, and he was Hulk Hogan, the vitamins, and doing push-ups at night and all of that. But the fact of the matter is that this is the Hall of Fame for baseball. I'm on the side of Pete Rose. I believe that Pete Rose should have been in the Hall of Fame. Now, if they found that he bet on the games that he coached or played, then that would be another conversation. I know that there was always blurred lines in that. There wasn't definitive answers. I know some people gave definitive answers, but I don't know because he never said, and obviously he's trying to push for himself to not be charged with it. But I just think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. All-time hits leader, I think so. What say you?
Okay, so I got a whole lot of things to say and not a lot of time to say it in, so here we go. Starting with Pete Rose. Every level of professional baseball, there is a big sign in every single locker room that says, do not bet on baseball. You do not bet on baseball, you will get a lifetime ban. From very rookie ball to the major leagues. It's in every locker room. Do not bet on baseball. This is the one rule this isn't even unwritten. This is a written rule we cannot break.
Right.
Pete Rose bet on baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose bet on the Cincinnati Reds. Well, he was managing the Cincinnati Reds. Did he ever bet the Reds to lose? No. But did he bet them to go 162-0 every year? No. So if he knows that his pitcher's not feeling well and he's not going to win the game, he just didn't place a bet that day. Same thing as covering.
Well, if I read the injury report, if I read what the people are saying, and I know, if you know, like last year when Patrick Mahomes, they sat their whole team and they played the Denver Broncos.
The Broncos were winning that game.
The Broncos was going to win that game, and if you wanted to make sure that you were going to win, whether it was a small amount or not, because they were favored to win, you would go win some money.
Yeah, instead of Pete Rose betting the Broncos to win that game, as in your scenario, the Broncos head coach, he didn't, or the Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid didn't. Pete Rose just didn't place that bet.
Right. We can't hold. Come on, Chef. We can't hold him accountable for what he didn't bet, though.
But then he can go out and say, "Oh, well, I never bet my team to lose." You're right, you didn't. But you also didn't bet when you knew for a fact your team was going to lose.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing as betting against your team.
I just wonder too, and
now,
this is going to be facetious now, because they wasn't going to select him as a Hall of Famer for a coach. They were going to be for his body of work on the field during the time that he was playing. Did he bet on baseball while he was playing?
For the Phillies. He was a player coach.
I knew he played. I knew he was doing that for a little while, but I still believe I'm on the fence of Pete Rose.
Let's go back to more facts. He has a meeting with Faye Vincent. Faye Vincent says, "Here's your paperwork to sign for a lifetime ban. After a year, we can review this, but the paper says lifetime ban."
Mm-hmm.
He signed that paper willingly.
Yeah.
So he knew what he was into way back in 1978. I'm guessing was when he got.
No. He was
or was it still in the 80s?
He was still in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was still good.
Way back.
It might have been in the 90s, but either way.
No, it was in the 80s for sure.
He definitely, to me, was one of those guys that, took the game to another level. I believe that his body of work proves it. And, for me, I'm just going to say that, they're going to let him in the Hall of Fame.
Just because Shoeless Joe Jackson didn't know how to read and blindly signed that paper, we're holding him hostage for over 100 years.
Right. They're going to let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
And they're going to let Shoeless Joe in.
And they're going to let Shoeless Joe in.
I don't know the other names on that list. I couldn't find any source that said, because the whole headline is Shoeless Joe, Pete Rose, and others are allowed to be on the ballot.
Right.
Who are the others?
So that's going to be the question. Will Pete Rose be on the ballot for next year? If he's on the ballot for next year, that flips the script on all of it. Because now you're talking about an opportunity to make a really bad Hall of Fame class a really great one. And if some of the older ones that are on there, I don't know, because you got other ones that are coming.
I think he served his lifetime ban.
Yeah.
His lifetime is over.
Right. His life is over. And so Pete Rose, to me, should also be in. So we got about 2 minutes before we go to the break. And you said something earlier about Ryan Braun. So I want you to go ahead and tell me in your 2-minute fastest way of what's your opinion about Ryan Braun, because you're a Brewers fan. Everybody kind of knows
Ryan
that. Ryan
Braun made me question every one of my life choices. And how that is any steroid player that came through Milwaukee, I would go and I would boo to the top of my lungs at them for taking steroids. Then all of a sudden, the guy who has my favorite team on the front gets caught with steroids. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what do I do? I can't hate him because he plays for my team. Right. I can't cheer him because he's a steroid guy, and that makes me look like a hypocrite.
Right.
And it took until like in a July game in Target Field in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
First inning comes up, no reaction from the fans. Fifth inning comes up, no reaction from the fans. Third inning comes up, and they boo the living crap out of him. I'm like, you know what? That's a bunch of crap.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to boo him in his first at-bat, boo him in every at-bat. Don't wait until the last at-bat of the series before you boo him off the field.
Right. I don't think he was, he had some good times, but he wasn't great. He wasn't Hall of Fame regardless of using the steroids.
And that Brewer era, where there
Yeah.
is nothing,
Right.
he was everything.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not a fan of the Brewers as much either, so.
And we can blame steroids on one, we can blame the entire steroid era on one person, Bud Selig. But if Bud Selig cracked down in 1998 when McGuire and Sosa had the big bash, there wouldn't have been a huge steroid era. Now we credit Bud Selig with getting steroids out of baseball when he's the one that let steroids in baseball to begin with.
He did, but the Major League Baseball, as we know it, at that time was going down the drains. It would come off
100%.
a bad year, all of that. So I believe it saved baseball. So
I agree too.
Steroid era, you can like it, love it, hate it, whatever. It saved baseball. And so here we go. We will be back. We're going to take a break. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN, Afternoon Underdogs. Coming right back.
Call or text in now on the Red 70s studio line. 850-215-6290. Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
Sit your ass down and shut up!
Call or text the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida with your rants, hot takes, picks, and takedowns.
This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama!
Just to go 7 games, you've got to have a bad game at some point.
The Red 70s studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get in the game.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunny the rest of the day with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 96. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Partly sunny and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 91. A likelihood of thunderstorms Wednesday with a temp of 88. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
With some incredible starting pitching and a roster loaded with stars, don't ever count the Atlanta Braves out.
And he hits one to deep right field, streaking back towards the wall, and balls in the chop house. A 2-run homer by Baldwin.
Tonight, the Braves are back on the road in the Midwest as they roll into Kauffman Stadium to take on the Kansas City Royals.
Braves travel into Kansas City. Pregame 6 o'clock. First pitch 6:40. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
It is a walk-off home run for Sean Murphy into the Braves bullpen.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdog.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm your host, Paul Wilson, today. So good to have you here listening with us, whether you're listening on the radio or any of your social media platforms. We appreciate a like, a share, a comment, anything. Don't forget also, we've got the Red 70s call or text line, 850-215-6290. Don't forget, as you heard in the monologue, the Braves travel to Kansas City tonight to play the Royals at 6 p.m. First pitch is at 6:40. Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. We are so thankful for that. We love Braves baseball around here. Now, let's get to baseball. We're going to talk about something that's coming up, or that's came up, which is Aaron Judge has injured his arm. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Aaron Judge injured his arm. He threw the ball in from right field, and you could see him grimacing, and it looked really painful. And so they went ahead and pulled him in, and looks like the good news is there's no UCL problem. So no Tommy John for now for Aaron Judge. But it did say that there was a flexor strain, and
he's been dealing with it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, so he's going to be out. He's going to be out for a little while. I know right now they put you on a 10-day disabled list just to begin with, just to get you through all the doctors and examinations and all that. But he'll be out for the foreseeable future for a little while.
Yeah, because I heard something that he's been dealing with this and trying to play through it, and then all of a sudden he made that throw the other day and he can't play through it anymore. And then the post-game, Boone goes, he's going to sit the 10-day and then DH for a bit after that.
Yeah. So they're calling him for the DH. And so here we go. So if you look at it right now, they already have a DH, and his name is Giancarlo Stanton. So Stanton is their DH. He's what Ozuna has been until recently to the Braves. He doesn't play the outfield. He doesn't play a lot of the positions. And the reason why he doesn't play in the positions is because Giancarlo always gets hurt. Every year, Giancarlo has played for the Yankees. He's had some kind of injury. He's been out of, 10, 20 days on the disabled list because he just seems to always find the hurt bug.
His position was right field, correct?
Yeah, he was a right fielder.
So it's a good plug and play.
For who?
For the Yankees. I mean, you put one, because Judge has been injured a lot too in the last few years. This year he's been healthy except for now. This year he's been dominant except for now.
Yeah.
He's always been dominant and injured.
Yeah, but
so you put like one bubble boy in for another bubble boy.
But what you're gonna eventually have is you're gonna eventually have two bubble boys, and then you're gonna have two of your better sticks with the power outside of Cody Bellinger and some of the others that are actually hitting good right now. And what you're gonna run into is Giancarlo is gonna go out there, and he's probably not gonna have a UCL problem or an arm problem. He's probably gonna have some kind of hamstring. He's probably gonna have back, or he's gonna have some kind of something go on. So now you're gonna make things worse by putting Giancarlo in the outfield, and that's to me, and I'm a Yankees fan, and that's the biggest mistake they can make. I just don't understand what Aaron Boone's doing. And so with that being said, I'm about to make some remarks about the Yankees that I feel like is going to really probably come true. And that is that the Yankees are probably not going to make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they'll screech to get in the playoffs, but I don't believe they'll make the playoffs. I haven't even looked at where they were in the standings at the time. I know they're down to Toronto right now, and they're playing for a wild card, but I'm just saying right now, to me, with Aaron Judge going out, it could be 10 days, it could be 20 days, it could be longer, but if he stays out a long period of time, I believe that the Yankees are gonna go into a dismal Yankee standard of baseball. And if you put Giancarlo in the outfield right now, and he comes out and he gets hurt, and then that takes another bat out of their lineup, you're looking at possibility of having a anemic lineup for the New York Yankees.
The Yankees are 2 games up on the third wild card spot.
Yeah, so they're 2 games.
They're in the number 1, and the teams behind them are Boston, a half game. Are there a game and a half up on Boston, and 2 games up on Seattle? Then you have Texas, Tampa, Cleveland, Kansas City, and the Angels.
And the
Yankees are getting in the playoffs.
We can see a lot of things. I don't believe that. I'm not a betting type of guy, but I would be able to bet you some ice cream or some chocolate cake that the Yankees are probably not going to make the playoffs this year. Their record, I think I wrote it down, but I'm not sure where it was. But either way, if they're 2 games up, they're going to not make the playoffs. I believe.
Out of those 5 teams I mentioned, Texas, Tampa, Cleveland, Kansas City, and the Angels, who's going to jump them?
I believe Boston's going to get them.
Boston's already in.
I believe Seattle's
already in.
I believe that, who else? I believe Kansas City's going to make a run. I think Kansas City can make a run because they're not going to have the offensive production without Judge. And then eventually, I believe, I'm going to call it, I don't want to jinx the guy, but Giancarlo is probably going to get hurt. And then he's going to be out, and that's going to be another bat. And you're going to be looking for Ben Rice. You're going to be looking for Anthony Volpe. You're going to be looking for these guys to get in there and make up for when Judge is gone or when he's out, and they're going to go down. If they go on a 7-game losing streak right out the gate when Judge goes down, then what are we talking? Where would they be? Where are they going to be? They're going to be at the bottom. They're not going to. They're going to get passed up.
Hold on. What happens in 3 days from now?
Tell me.
The trade deadline.
Right.
So we're still on I can pick up anybody I want to side of the trade deadline.
Right. So
Brian Cashman's going to make a move.
You think so? So Brian Cashman, if he makes a move, then things could get a little bit better. Now, let me tell you what I think they should do with Aaron Judge. I think they should go ahead because Aaron Judge has been playing the outfield the whole tenure of his career. I don't believe that he's done a terrible job. I believe he's done a serviceable job. I don't think he's, a Gold Glove outfielder. Don't get me wrong. He's, he can pick him up and put him down for being so big and he's got a decent arm, nothing there. But I think they ought to go ahead and give him the Bryce Harper treatment. I think they ought to go ahead and start him learning how to play first base. I believe that that's the way forward for Aaron Judge to enable him to have his career extended. I believe that he's going to have to move to another position because DH, to me, I believe that when you move to the DH position, I believe it allows you to be unathletic, unengaged, and I believe they'll give him if they could give him the Bryce Harper treatment and bring him into the first base position, I believe that'll be where he can make the biggest dent as far as for the Yankees and for his career.
What are you going to do with Paul Goldschmidt?
Paul Goldschmidt's 40 years old. He doesn't even need to be after 2 years away. He's having a great year. Don't get me wrong. Paul Goldschmidt's having a good year for coming over from St. Louis and being a decent, he's always been a really good ball player. Don't get me wrong. But let's just be honest. He's in his latter part of his career. If he stays for 2 more years, I don't see him staying around much longer. And if Paul Goldschmidt, that's fine. Dangle him around and use him as trade bait. Find somebody else to give him.
You're trying to fix the Yankees right here, right now by putting Aaron Judge at first base 3 years down the road.
He's not going to. No, I say Aaron Judge after this year's done, we need to bring Aaron Judge and bring him in.
You're trying to fix the Yankees right here, right now, today by thinking 3 years down the road.
No, I'm saying.
How do you fix the Yankees today? You make the trade.
Who are you going to trade? Who are you going to get rid of?
Some player to be named later. Because
I don't even think they do that anymore.
No, they don't.
If they were, you got to say Bellinger is their lead guy. Him and Stanton right now, as far as with power, with Judge out of the lineup. But you can't. You got to have something. I mean, there's prospects that you could give away. They traded one of their middle relievers to the Braves today, but it was just for a prospect here or there. It wasn't anybody significant. So when you look at fixing the problem, when you have these players that go out that are your star players, sometimes look at the Acuna year. Whenever he went out, the Braves, they ended up winning the World Series. But the fact of the matter is they had all of these other players that were so good, that were like, all-stars. But I don't see the Yankees being that team. They started out really hot, and some of the whole torpedo bat deal was going good for a little while. But I don't believe if you take a man like Aaron Judge out of this lineup, out of this Yankees lineup specifically, I don't believe you're going to be able to fix anything with a trade.
You've been following, you're a big baseball guy. Mm-hmm. Have you been following the Dodgers in the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
How good have they been in the last 3 weeks? Because this Aaron Judge thing, you're probably going to rest around 3 weeks.
Yeah.
How good have the Dodgers been?
Not very good.
Where are they in those standings?
Still leading.
Still leading the division.
Yeah. But we're talking about 2 separate teams now because the Yankees, they didn't have that big of a lead.
So the Yankees are still going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to make it. Now, let's look up for the past 10 years. World Series teams. How many of them have been the best team in baseball? Or how many of them been that team that scratches to just sneak into the playoffs in game 161, 162, 163, and then go on a run?
Right. And
why is that? Because the Detroit Tigers have 2.5 months of meaningless baseball coming up.
Right.
Glorified spring training from today until October 1st-ish.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but where I'm coming from is that I don't think they scratch in. I think this is the end of the New York Yankees as we sit right now.
I want it to be the end. I hate the Yankees.
I like the Yankees. I don't want this to happen. But the fact of the matter is that if he goes down, which he has, and he's out, they are saying, 10 days.
10 days, 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're saying 2 weeks. But what if it's 3 weeks? What if they say, hey, let's take another week? What if this happens? What if that happens? If they don't have some type of formula that allows them to start winning more ball games, they're going to find themselves in a big hole for when he comes back. And then you know how it's going to be. All the pressure's going to be on Judge. Come back, save us, Captain America, save us, Superman. Give the Yankee fans what they want, a playoff berth. And if they do scratch in there, I agree with you. I think they're going to have, they can make a run. They could probably get some people back in the bullpen that are getting healthy. That whole thing comes back to play. But the fact of the matter is the question that's going to be is how bad are the Yankees going to be when Aaron Judge is out and when he first comes back? Are they going to be that team that's going to just keep losing and losing and losing?
If they're 500 while he's out, you're good.
You think so?
And I don't know what their schedule looks like. I don't know if they're playing Boston, followed by Toronto, followed by Boston again. Or if they're playing the Colorado Rockies in there.
I believe Boston will probably be on their schedule. We can look at that at the break. But the fact of the matter is I'm going to stand by the statement that during this time, if the Yankees go on any type of losing streak and start to kind of lose their way, you're going to see a lot of things start to happen. Then you'll start hearing that Aaron Boone's seat is getting really hot. And then you could really start having your trouble, because then if the wheels start to come off, the whole thing is going to be out the door. And then you could possibly see a new manager coming in at the end of the year because they don't make the playoffs.
Don't you see that every year? Aaron Boone's seat's hot. Brian Cashman's seat's on fire. Brian Cashman's going to be fired tomorrow.
Yeah,
and yet he still has a job.
There. Yeah, he's still there.
Aaron Boone's seat was super hot on August 1st last year.
They made
what happened in November.
Right. They made the World Series, and you know as well as I do, you've got a few teams in the world that
the Yankees JV can beat half of the league.
I don't know about that. You got these teams: Yankees, Alabama, Georgia, Kansas City,
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. I can't believe you made me say Cowboys. If they don't win it all, it seems as it's a disappointment for their fan base. And that's what I'm talking about. For the Yankees, when Aaron Judge goes out, I hate to be sounding like a broken record, if they don't keep above 500, if they don't stay fresh and win some ball games, or get those ball games that you're not supposed to win, somehow, some way, find a way to win them. If they can hold on until Captain America comes back, then they'll be okay. But in my heart of hearts, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not a diehard Yankee fan. I'm just a Yankee fan. I want to see the best of the best do good. I like to see when they do good. If they are able to weather the storm.
All right, here we go.
Okay, come on.
Starting today, 4 games against the Rays at Yankee Stadium.
All right.
Then they go 3 at the Marlins, 3 at the Rangers, and then you'll get Judge back somewhere in the middle of the Astros. Okay. Then you got the Twins, the Cardinals, back to the Rays. That's a 500 schedule.
Possibly.
Without Judge.
Yeah.
With Judge. I
don't know, because
you got to beat Tampa at home. Tampa's not. I mean,
they're not terrible.
They're not terrible, but they're very beatable. They're very young and naive, to put it another way.
But I could see the Rangers sweeping them. I could see the Rangers sweeping them.
You got the Marlins in between that.
I get it. But
now I know the Marlins just took 2 out of 3 against my Brewers, but
I'm just saying they have a tendency to have a good series here and there, and
they've already had it.
So say if the Rangers sweep them, and then the Marlins say they win the series, and so now you're looking at 3-6 over a 9-game period, and then they go back to the Rays.
You got the Rays first.
But if you look at it,
so let's go 2-2 against the Rays. It's at Yankee Stadium. You got to have 2 there.
Yeah,
you should 3-1, but
Well,
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that your team is absolutely terrible without one man on the roster.
Right, but you also got other things going on too. You got Max Fried's got dealing with a blister problem on his hand, on his throwing hand, and that kind of stuff. They got rid of a pitcher. They brought in some, this, that, and the other. But I'm just telling you that if Aaron Judge, if they can't, they're going to have to be, to me, above 500 because I believe the Red Sox, I believe the Mariners. There's a possibility that those guys could make a run at the end and get hot, because that's the thing. If another team gets hot and they become to be dismal.
And again, don't look at the Red Sox or Mariners because they've already got spots.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you're at. You need the ticket to the dance.
Yeah.
And they've already got tickets as of right now.
As of right now, yeah.
So if the Mariners get hot, if the Red Sox get hot, who cares? They got tickets.
Right.
I still got my ticket.
Yeah, but if the Yankees get really bad during this time, I believe they're not going to make the playoffs, and I believe there will be a lot of heads rolling in New York, starting with Aaron Boone. And then if you look at the trade deadline coming up, you don't really know what's going to happen. If they could dangle somebody like a Goldschmidt, which I don't think they will, but if they could do something to get somebody else in there to make the push. I mean, yeah, but
maybe somebody in your farm system, because the Rockies aren't going to trade for a has-been player.
No.
The Rockies are going to trade for 3 prospects in the top 150.
Right. And see, like a trade like Ozuna doesn't make sense because they don't need a DH. You know what I mean? Somebody like him.
If they wanted Ozuna, they would have put him in the relief pitcher deal today.
Yeah, they would have probably went ahead and got him, but he doesn't make sense anyway. So, I mean, that's just really not something that you want to do. So with all that, I just want to say that I'm a diehard Yankee fan a little bit, but I really want to see what the Yankees are going to do without Aaron Judge in the lineup. And there's that big possibility. And I hate to say this because realistically, looking at the schedule now, and if he does stay out longer, that could spell more trouble for them. But the only thing that's saving them is that they get the Marlins twice while he's off.
I'm telling you to take one step off that ledge and look up. Don't look down.
Yeah. We'll look back on this day, the first day of the show, and we'll say whether or not in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we'll see where the Yankees are. And if you're right or whatever, we'll probably get you some chocolate cake in here again.
Now I want to be right.
So either way, we've got to get to that point to where we know that one team can't be built on just one player. And I mean, unfortunately for me, I believe that's where the Yankees are going. But we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk Atlanta Braves baseball. We're going to also have our guy here from PCB Hobby to discuss some of the awesome things going on here in Panama City Beach. You're listening to the Afternoon Underdogs. We'll be right back.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Must. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the northwest, mostly clear skies and 83. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 92. In the afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some sun and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 92. About the same at 89 Wednesday, and we'll have a variety of sunshine and possible thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627. 7. Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
And welcome back. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the Afternoon Underdogs. Don't forget to call or text in 850-215-6290 on the Red 17's phones line. We are in CBC Construction Studio, and we have the awesome opportunity to have our guest with us today, Bill from PCB Hobby. Bill, how are you doing today?
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me over. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Is it hot enough for you?
It's, we were just joking. You know, our office is pretty close by, but I chose to drive just because it's so hot today. So.
Yeah. AC right now in Florida is way better.
I could have walked faster.
Yeah, you could have been here 10 minutes faster by walking.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard this or not, but you know, I have freshly 2.5 years ago moved in from Kentucky to Florida, and this is the main reason why I moved here, is to get in the hot sun and get on the beach and get in the water and just have a great time. But it just seems like I don't find myself in the water, or I just find myself in the hot sun.
This time of year too.
Yeah, it's been pretty warm. So
you picked a hot time though. So I mean, was it 95 yesterday? It's supposed to be 95 today. So
I think so, and I think
the hottest days of the year.
I think today's supposed to be the hottest day, and then it said something like the heat index was 110, which was it's crazy. I don't understand all of that, but I just know it's hot.
It's hot.
I mean, just when you look over and you see, you know, people, they look like they are they're moving. That's probably that's a little bit of a mirage. So yeah. So you work over at PCB Hobby. So what's going on over there? Y'all got anything going on fresh right now?
We do. So it's been really busy. So we do, if everybody doesn't know us, we do 4 different things. We do trading card games, which is like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that type of stuff, right? So it's gameplay type stuff. Mm-hmm. We do sports cards, right? You know, baseball, football, basketball. Yes, we do hockey, even though we're in Florida. A lot of people don't realize
Florida's the hockey state.
I know that.
Like
you know
8 straight national.
I don't know that.
8 straight Stanley Cups or something like that.
And then we also have comic books. We do a lot of stuff with comic books. And you come into the shop and most people don't realize how much stuff we do with it's a lot of stuff we do with comics. And then coins and currency. And so really it's a lot of stuff collectibles. We even dabble in toys every once in a while. And so we just picked up a new collection fairly recently, and we have a load of Marvel action figures. And so still in the box, you know, the whole deal.
That's cool.
It's crazy stuff. But
I finally made my first trip there Saturday, and I was blown away by all the stuff that was there.
Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it, yeah.
Question is, Mizorowski, I'm a Brewer fan. How easy is it to find his stuff right now?
It's all product based, right, guys? So it's a matter of the checklist. And so what I always tell everybody is if you're looking for something and you're not sure where to go product wise, there's a website that we use a lot of times. It's called Cardboard Connection. Cardboard Connection has all of the checklist information on it for everybody. So it tells you exactly what sets to find and where to look for product.
Yeah, I was able to get a couple Jackson Cheerios in your $3 bin.
Yep.
Thank you for having a $3 bin.
Just like, what was a kid hit the 4 home runs, the rookie, the Kurtz.
Yeah.
Kurtz, for the A's.
You know, his product, he wasn't wildly put out in a lot of products and stuff, but people are super hunting for his stuff right now. And I think it was like 2024 Goodwin Champions has his rookie card in it. So that's like one of the products that you can pick up that actually has his stuff in it.
So I've been watching some of the videos, and like a lot of the sports card guys, they go to these shows and all of that. So I've been watching some of those, and so explain to the novice like I am, growing up definitely was a baseball card collector during the years that they made so many baseball cards that now they're not worth anything anymore.
The junk
that's me. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, all of that. So that's me. I mean, I've got all kinds of cards at home still, and but I found out that they're really not worth it. I was going to retire on those, but now I can't. But
so I say yes. There's a large amount of items produced in the late '80s, early '90s. There's a lot of stuff, and you'll hear a lot of times people say, "Oh, there are still some stuff out there that's still good money." So there are some cards out there that for the value of what they are, they're still good value. So
okay,
yeah. So don't dismiss those early '90s type stuff.
Okay.
Whoops.
Well, that's good.
Gotta look through them carefully.
I'm gonna let my kid go play with them, and that's the thing that probably messes them up the worst.
Don't put them in the bikes, folks.
Play. So I've been watching these videos, and on these videos, they grab a pack of cards and they just open them. Yep. So that's called
ripping.
That's called ripping.
Yeah, rip and wax.
So rip and wax means that you're just opening a pack of cards. Yeah. Now, how do they know what cards are in there? Are they just hoping? Is that what this is? Is they're just hoping?
To an extent. So there are certain things you're going to get. So most of the packs, the configurations are known by the companies, right? So you get some Topps Chrome, and you know that there's going to probably be, first of all the cards are going to be Chrome-based cards. They're all going to be shiny cards, right, when you open them up. But you're probably going to have something in there. You're probably going to have a superfractor or a refractor or a parallel of some type that's going to be color-coded, which gives you the number. So
now, superfractor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Superfractor just means a specific type of card.
It's a type of card, right? So what you have in all of those parallels are basically parallels, right? So back in the day, they used to just have the base cards, and that was the set, right? So to enhance the product, to make it more desirable, to make it more collectible, they started adding what they call parallel cards in. Parallels are basically the same card, but maybe it has a different color frame.
Okay.
So instead of it being like the base color blue, maybe it's purple. Right? Or maybe it's pink. Maybe it has a special finish on the coating on the card. So maybe it looks like little disco kind of globes on it,
and that makes that card one of one then?
It makes it a certain number out of parallels usually. So it could be, not every parallel is serializer number, but the ones that do is where it becomes much more valuable. So the card might be limited to only 25 of these cards were made. Only maybe 99 of these cards were made. And sometimes in cards they got really weird numbers. Like it could be out of 105. It could be just some random number that they have. The ones that are super rare, the ones that are super valuable, over the weekend, Topps Chrome just came out about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, right? It's one of the biggest products of the year. The biggest chase card that was in there, I hate to break everybody's hearts right now. If you haven't seen the news, the Ohtani Judge card was hit. It was a one-of-one gold logo man. So it was the MLB, right? So as the NL MVP, AL MVP, they both got to wear the gold logo man last year, right? For this year, for their uniforms. So the first day they pull those off. They wear the first time. They pull it off a patch, and now Topps gets it. Fanatics gets it from the MLB. They insert it into a card, and then on top of that, they let both players sign that card. And so you have a Aaron Judge, Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani rookie card, or not rookie, sorry, one-of-one card with their patches, their logo patches in the card, signed by both of them. It's a multi-million-dollar card, and somebody hit it in a card shop in Ohio.
Really?
Over the weekend, yeah. So
So
that's what you're ripping
so
for.
That's what you're
everybody's
ripping for.
chasing is they want that multi-million-dollar hit on those one-on-ones that are just massive cards like that.
And there's several cards that are 100,000.
Oh, there are still a lot of big cards out there. Don't worry. There's still tons of stuff out there.
And last year was the Paul Skeens, get to meet him, season ticket to the Pirates.
It was redemptions that they do. They're special insert redemptions and stuff. And so they're cool things that they do with some of these cards now. I think one of the best things, the logo man was a brilliant idea to put that into the products, especially going gold on the uniforms. The rookie debut patches, love them. Can't get enough of those things.
Yeah.
That was brilliant to put onto a rookie card, to put it on there. So that to me was a thing that you designate that's one time, it's a one-on-one card for that rookie. And if you get somebody who's really great, Paul, right? And you get that type of thing, then you're going to have a really big card.
Was that the card they were chasing?
No, not his rookie patch, but that's just an example. There's been some really great ones that were out there.
I remember the whole big chase, and then somebody pulls it in San Francisco, I believe. And they're like, "Oh, you get season tickets to the Pirates." And he's like, "I live in San Francisco. Why would I want season tickets to the Pirates?"
So it was his card. It was a rookie card that they were chasing, and it was his one-on-one. There's many actually one-on-ones also. Just to be clear, not everything's a one-on-one of every single thing, right? But there are one-on-one special creations that they make of those things. He wanted the card, or the Pirates wanted the card. And if you hit it, the money got put up. It wasn't Topps or Panini or anybody like that put it. It was actually the Pirates organization put that up because they were trying to take him coming up as much as he did and really try to make a lot of big social media out of it, which it did. It was huge. So.
And so like
it's a great crossover story between like modern marketing and modern, in the parks and the ball clubs into fanatics and the collectors, because
wasn't it a kid that pulled that card too?
Oh yeah, it was some young guy. Yeah,
15-ish. I want to say.
That's crazy. And when you think about all of these cards that they have and just the way that they use, I would call it like a word salad, because game worn.
Oh yeah.
Compared to
it's like
player worn. Yeah, it's totally different. And I never knew, because I'm like, man, this is cool. You can actually, and it's like, wait a minute, that's just
there's a difference.
There's just a player worn. Means that he went somewhere and sat down and took a picture in it, took it off and gave it to him, and then they cut it up, and then he signed different spots or whatever. And so those are cards, but those cards are still worth a lot of money as well.
Yeah, still fantastic.
I saw one yesterday, no joke, that, and again, sometimes you don't know whether you're watching something that's true or not with AI and all that, but I saw where they had a card where Larry Bird's shoestrings were inside green, like you could tell it used to be the old Converse green Converse that he used to wear, and he had a signature there, and somebody had opened or somebody had gotten that card or whatever, and I just thought, man, what a show. So tell us some of the stuff that's going on in the shop that's coming up this week or this month.
We have some big stuff. So one of the other things, other than just the shop, one of the things we do is our teams go out. So we have like 40 employees now. I don't know if everybody realizes how big our company is.
There's a lot of people behind the counter.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's just our store. We actually have a headquarters building where we operate out of. We do eBay Live. We do a lot of eBay Live streaming. We stream all 4 departments right now. Somebody's live right now on all 4 of them. Every
oh wow!
And so we go to all the conventions, and the shows. As a matter of fact, we have a team right now in San Diego at the San Diego Comic-Con this last weekend. They're out there. They're coming back tomorrow. I got another team that's going on the road on Thursday, and they're going to the National Sports Card Show. That's the big one. So talk about a big show, talk about a big kind of thing. So we have a team that's going to be going up there to buy stuff, do deals. We're taking some of our bigger cards up there. We're taking some of them. We're going to buy some good stuff, we hope, up there and find some things. They might even get to do some pack rips while they're up there and do stuff. The National is like the big show of the year. It's like the big time. It's
and
like
where's that at?
It's in Rosemont, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's close to Chicago, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. So
I've been through Rosemont.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's at the Stevenson Center there. It's a great facility, and the National is huge. I mean, everybody's there. Now, it only competed against by Fanatics Fest. So Fanatics Fest was recently, last month in New York at Javits Center. They are putting on a show at the Javits there for Fan Fest. Fanatics is doing it right. They're quickly going to overtake the National, but right now the National is the Super Bowl of sports card shows.
Yeah, I was going to say, because somebody, I can't remember who said I think Brian had went or something, and so he was there, and they were just talking about all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on there, which is so cool because they had like all of there was like players there.
Oh, there's everybody.
Brady suplexed Eli there.
Yeah, they'll be top level, rookies, current active players that can be there based on schedule, obviously, right? A lot of retired guys show up and go there and stuff. So you'll see Brady. He'll be there. I mean, he doesn't miss a card. Tom Brady's well invested into cards, sports cards specifically. He has his own company now.
Oh, wow.
And so, he's going to definitely be there doing stuff. So you'll see.
TB12 does cards now?
He does 12. Yeah, he does cards now.
Is it TB12 brand?
I'm not sure what the shop actually named, but he has, I want to say there's 3 or 4 locations right now up north that he has. So
wow, that's so
But he's
cool.
heavily invested in the sport, so in sports cards.
So my little boy is 9 years old, and he plays travel baseball. And one of the things that they do for these baseball tournaments is that they trade pins. And so they gather their pins, and then they come together, and then they all kind of trade. But like listening to all of them, all of these kids that are playing travel baseball, which are millions probably now, they all do baseball cards. And you should hear them talking about this one and that one and this one and that one. Do y'all do stuff special for the kids,
We do.
like for them to do it?
Yeah,
when do you do it and what time? Because I want to know, because I'm bringing my kid.
Well, that's a great question. So we do a Kids Trade Day the first Saturday every month, which happens to be this coming Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah, so we do a Kids Trade Day every first, and we do stuff for the kids when they come in. Now, when it comes to the travel teams, we have a lot of travel teams that come down here and play ball between Frank Brown and the Publix fields.
Yeah.
They come out in droves during the summer. Crazy days for us is when it rains, when the ball fields can't be played on. The kids show up. One of my favorite activities, though, is wax. We talked about junk wax earlier. We carry a lot of junk wax in the store still. And the kids love coming in and ripping that stuff. And it's amazing to be able to sit there. We'll get them boxes of stuff, and it's because it's not expensive, and they can all rip cards and have fun, and they have a good time doing it and stuff, too. So that's a fun thing to do with them. But
I saw the packs of old school tops that still had the if you can call that chewing gum in there.
Oh. So, every good fantasy football league has to have some type of punishment for if you come in last place.
Come on.
And we did a public chewing gum demonstration one time. It was a couple of years ago for our last place person had to eat the gum out of a 1982 pack of Topps cards.
I'd rather do the Waffle House 24 hours.
Oh, that's
It was
terrible.
horrible. So,
I bet.
It wasn't me, but it was horrible.
Well, I remember as a kid, man, we used to eat them. I mean, we used to chew them, and I mean, it didn't
They
ever
weren't
have
great
much.
then.
They didn't have much flavor then, so it wasn't, one of those big things. So you're going to have it this Saturday.
This
what
Saturday.
time?
So we open at 10, and we're open from 10 to 6 every Saturday. So pretty much 10 to 6 every day. Fridays are the only days we're open late because we do organized play for Magic Gathering until like 11 o'clock. Coming up this next couple of weeks, though, too, we have a bunch of new stuff. So Topps Chrome has already come out, but what they haven't released is the Mega Box, the retail product. It's a smaller retail configuration. We get typically hobby boxes on release day, which are a bit more expensive for most people. So if you're looking for something more economical, a smaller retail kind of thing, those drop on the August 6th. So next week on, I think is a Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
The Mega Boxes will have those.
How much money are you talking? So you said expensive to non-expensive.
Hobby boxes can be super expensive. They can be $100, $150 up to several $100, several $1,000s. Sorry. For example, National Treasures. So Panini comes out August 6th. National Treasures comes out football. That is like a $2,500 box of football cards.
Oh wow!
And there's only like I think 3 packs in that box. Comes in a suitcase. Comes in a little briefcase.
Really?
You pop it open and it's got the packs and stuff in the briefcase, and so
man.
But that's a super high end product. So you talk about those cards that you're looking for that are massively big cards. That's where you're going to find those type of cards. They're going to be in a large product like that. So
the card companies, they do this on purpose, right?
It's on purpose,
Obviously, they're doing this, so they're probably not going to not let you. They're not going to put a bunch of non-starters in that suitcase for the most part. They're going to give you something though. I mean, you're going to make some money. I mean,
what happens when you go to Biloxi and you pull the arm on that machine?
That's true.
I
mean, that's true.
Sometimes you get a quarterback, sometimes you don't, right?
Yeah, but they give you a buffet. If you spend enough money, you go get a buffet. At least you win something out of that. But so I know sometimes people talk about they go in together. A lot of people do that?
So they call them case breaks, and so each product comes in different configurations, right? It has different sizes, but hobby boxes, you may have an 8-box case, you could have a 16-box case, and obviously there's something that the companies got smart about this, and they put what they call a case hit in most of the cases nowadays, and so most of the products will have a case hit, which is a better hit. It's not going to be your $1 million hit. It might not be $100,000. It could be a couple grand, a couple $1,000 type hit, but that's what people are getting. We don't do case breaks on our side. We just open the cases and we sell them to the public. We sell them straight out. There's no way of knowing what box has the case hit in it. It's not marked or identified. So you come to PCB Hobby, you got a really good chance of getting a case hit because we don't check any of that stuff or do any of that stuff. But sometimes they'll do breaks, and that's what they're trying to get. It's too expensive for the single person, obviously, to buy an entire case of sports cards.
Right.
And so they might get 4 or 5 people that'll come in and they'll split it up, the cost up, and they'll split the boxes out and then they rip their boxes. Still kind of a risk for everybody, because somebody's going to probably get the hit and 4 people aren't, right? So you're going to have one really happy person and 4 people that are probably not as happy as he is.
Yeah,
but
that's cool though. For me, like growing up, collecting cards and collecting my favorite person. My favorite guy was Ricky Henderson back in the day. I loved his
Ricky's
cards.
Are still, he's one of those guys that still has value in all his early cards.
And see, I've got probably, 30, 40 cards. None of them have been graded. They're just in a regular sleeve, that whole thing. But, I just remember the love of doing it and going over to my friends' houses and we'd, if something came out back then, the King Griffey Jr. was a big card.
Still a good card.
And so, when you see, and I've got the set still. So, it's opened, because back in the day you said, don't open the set. But I opened it anyway. But
you broke that seal.
Yeah, I broke the seal. So, oh well. But either way, I just remember it being such a great time, and I want my son to experience it because it's such a great time. It's like memories, you know what I mean? You build, and then now
there
you
is
got those
still
cards.
a lot of opportunity. And so we joke and talk about like the big cards and the big hits and stuff. But I will tell you this: there is a lot of opportunity for kids to be able to come in and get it at low cost. There's a lot of boxes, a lot of packs, a lot of things that we sell at the shop that are not going to break the bank in order to get in, play, and be part of the sport. We have a 32-foot retail wall space for our sports cards, and it's multi-shelf level, multi-cases. There is something up there for everybody. We keep basketball, we keep football, we got baseball, we have UFC, wrestling, and that's a big part now too, is a lot of entertainment stuff. Right now, Topps is doing a redemption program it's called a buyback. And basically, if you open a box of UFC Chrome at the shop and you hit a specific player, we'll actually buy that card back for you at cost. So you could hit a base card, which is worth 25 cents, maybe 30 cents normally. We'll give you $20 for it because that's what the buyback is for Topps.
Yeah, wow.
And so, and the bigger the card gets, the more expensive it gets. When we talk about those purple refractors and all that, then you start getting into $100, $200 buybacks. And so you can buy those back, or you can keep the card yourself and take it, sell it. But there's an opportunity there for those type of things. So
that is so awesome, and I'm so glad you got to come in because I'm excited because Saturday we didn't really, and obviously we're going to beat the Heat. So baseball season, we just finished our last tournament, so now it's time to do that. So you're probably going to see a little blonde-headed boy coming in there on Saturday, wanting his mom to spend all of the money that his dad has made. So it's going to be cool. But thank you so much for coming in. We're going to have to take a break. But Bill, real quick, tell us the address of where PCB Hobby is, and so everybody can know where to find you guys.
Yeah, thanks. We are located on the Parkway, Panama City Beach Expressway at 11939. We're right beside the landmark for us is Florida Linens. Everybody knows where that's at.
Oh, yeah, Florida Linens, definitely. All right, well, everybody out there, y'all go give Bill and PCB Hobby a visit, and we will come back, and we've got some breaking news that we're going to share with you about the NFL and talk a little bit more about some baseball stuff. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
Hello, Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Tracy, I need your help.
Of course I'll help, Santa.
What can you do to help take the stress out of the holidays?
You heard it, folks. Santa called, and we won't let him down. All of us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry have been stocking our cases full of gold chains, bracelets, and earrings at the lowest prices. We'll save you money during our Christmas and July sale and offer 6 months free layaway. Relieve some stress and shop where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
College football is almost here, and you can watch it all. Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN+, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most major markets. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. Just $45 a month with our promo code ESPNNW. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the Scorpion TV logo.
With some incredible starting pitching and a roster loaded with stars, don't ever count the Atlanta Braves out.
And he hits one to deep right field, streaking back towards the wall, and balls in the chop house. A 2-run homer by Baldwin.
Tonight, the Braves are back on the road in the Midwest as they roll into Kauffman Stadium to take on the Kansas City Royals.
Braves travel into Kansas City. Pregame 6 o'clock. First pitch 6:40. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. The mission?
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Save the panhandle from boring cookie-cutter radio. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
The state will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Breaking news.
And we are back. You're listening to the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm your host, Paul Wilson, here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And we do have some awesome breaking news, Chef Ross. I wanted to go through this because I know that a lot of listeners out there have been or will be playing Madden 2026. And they have released today. Today, they released it about, I'd say, a couple of hours ago, the 99 Club. Now, do you know what the 99 Club is?
The ratings of 99 on Madden.
Yeah, you get the 99 rating, which is nobody's perfect, but only a few people every year get the 99. And I want to go through the list, and I want to do this kind of funny, but I want to know if you agree with it or if you disagree with it. And then if you agree with it, we'll kind of talk about it. We'll go through each one, and then we'll disagree or agree. All right, number 1, the big man, Lane Johnson, 99 for Madden 2026. What do you think?
I don't know if any offensive lineman deserve or should be a 99, but if you're going to pick one, that's probably the dude I want protecting me.
Yeah, that guy's a stud, but I will tell you this. I disagree with you because I think that offensive line, as you saw in the Super Bowl, it's got to be because Patrick Mahomes could not step up in the pocket because the offensive line could not block the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
The best offensive lines that I know of are five men acting as one.
Right. Yeah, I get the whole thing about, the team concept. You're talking about
D-line, you have a stud on that end, Myles Garrett. He's going to make the difference all on his own.
Right.
If you have one stud and 4 weak guys on the offensive line, you're moving Myles Garrett to one of the 4 weak guys. So you need all 5 acting as one to protect.
It's the NFL. There is no weak guys that there shouldn't be. All right, let's move on. Number 2, Lamar Jackson.
100%. I don't know how he's not 100. Didn't get the 100 rating.
Well, he's not 100 because he doesn't win Super Bowls. He stacks stats, but he doesn't win Super Bowls.
Or playoff games.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's where you got to ask yourself, are we talking about just the player, like the guy that's out there getting the stats, or what are we talking about?
Is it Lamar Jackson's fault that the tight end dropped that pass that he put right in his breadbasket?
No, but is it Lamar Jackson's fault when he fumbles a ball and they recover and give the ball back over to the other team?
This last game, that was a winning catch. And nothing against this tight end because he's a really great player. He just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was put right in the breadbasket. So,
yeah, I mean, I get it. Everybody's not going to catch everything. Everybody's not going to throw anything. But I guess I would say that Lamar Jackson is a 99. I mean, for me, I'm not a big fan of Lamar Jackson just because of his playoff record and because, he does stat hog a lot to me. And so we can talk about this probably another day.
I've seen the entire development of Lamar Jackson from when he was drafted till now, and the maturity and how he's became more of a quarterback than just a running back that says hike.
Yeah, and I understand that part, but I think too, like once you get in a system and once you get into the NFL game and the flow, I agree with you. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying when I say this. I agree with you, but I also believe that he's learned how to play the NFL game, and so with that learning how to play the NFL game, he's gotten better, and that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm not going to disagree and say he doesn't deserve it, but yeah, I do believe that as you will see the list, that there possibly could be other people that I would think should be on the list that's not. But let's move on. Number 3, Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if I forgot the list. I looked at it earlier and totally forgot now. But is Vikings receiver.
We'll have to see. I just want to say this.
I think Chase has the talent.
I think Jamar Chase right now in the NFL is the best wide receiver in football. And the reason that Joe Burrow gets all of the things, the Netflix quarterback special that they have on Netflix, I watched it not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. And if you watch it, just about every time they needed a big play, 9 was throwing to 1.
Yeah.
1 was going to be somewhere in the vicinity, and Joe Burrow, not every pass was in a window like they try to say that he is. He's an Ohio State guy in the beginning, so just so you know, there's a little bit of angst against him. And
he beat your Alabama team.
Let's move on to the next point that I'm trying to make. So Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver, and I think, the 99, if there's anybody on this list to me personally that I think should be 100, it would be Jamar Chase because of how outstanding he is. And now I know he came from LSU, and I'm not big on the Tigers, but I will say that he is the best NFL wide receiver to me. All right, moving on. Number 4, Josh Allen, 99.
Yes, Josh Allen had the best year of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're going to say can't beat the Chiefs, can't win a playoff game, blah, blah, blah. But again, he was a fault by the overtime rules. I'm not saying they should have changed the rules. I really think that they should not have changed the rules to give both teams a chance because this isn't a participation trophy. But Josh Allen, MVP, 99 club.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm not a big Josh Allen fan. I just believe that now for him, the maturation that I've seen of him in the NFL, he has grown as a quarterback.
Terrible play calling in that game against the Chiefs.
Correct. I agree with you on there.
When the sneak doesn't work the first 5 times, stop calling it.
Yeah, that could be a real big reason why they're not, hoisting the Super Bowl championship too, because I believe they had a little bit better, or not a little bit better. I believe their defense was a lot better. I think they could have done a little bit better against the Eagles on that side of the ball. But I do believe Josh Allen, as much as I don't necessarily like him, he's not my favorite, but I do believe that he deserves it after the year that he had. He was the MVP. He led his team. He did the things, with his legs. He hit the spots. That was his MO early on in his career, is that he could make the leg plays, but sometimes the arm talent, because he's got the arm. He's got the strong arm. He can throw all the angles. But,
a head thing.
He just really, seemed like he missed his receivers a lot in those crucial times, maybe those 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 9s or whatever, and they would stop a drive, and that would be where Josh Allen has grown as his ability to be a quarterback. So, I believe a 99 is worth it for Josh Allen. I don't believe he should be 100, but I definitely believe a 99 is a good one. You agree with that one? Now, getting to number 6, Justin Jefferson.
He is the best wide receiver in the league.
He's the one that you were talking about. Yeah. So you believe that he's the best one? He's the best? Yeah. I mean, he's got the best gritty, that's for sure. I mean, he does the gritty about every game.
He's done more with less than probably anybody else.
Well, you got Kirk Cousins, and then you had Sam Darnold, and he still was, having to draw the double team. I mean, for the most part, his double team was always how do you do that? When you think of it, that every single game in every NFL game that you play, not only are you going to get the best defensive back to play to cover you, but you're going to be the one that draws the double coverage every single time. I mean, and still to come out and perform, still to have to be shut down. And I don't think you can shut this guy down. I just think you just kind of contain him.
I hear Alexander shut him down, but it was one game.
Yeah. And I mean, again, you got Kirk Cousins or you got Sam Darnold throwing in the football.
And also, me wearing this this jersey I'm wearing, saying that Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league says a whole lot.
Does it? Do you really like the Vikings?
I don't care about the Vikings. They haven't won anything ever.
So there's the love. Okay. Next to last is Myles Garrett, 99.
That dude is the only chance the Browns have to win a game this year.
So you believe that he's going to he'll be the one factor, even if they double team him?
Even if I think he has to play quarterback, running back, defensive end, kick the ball.
And that's the thing. I mean, he can do it all. And like you said earlier in the show, he is built like a huge man, and he's so unblockable. You know, he reminds me of Reggie White. He reminds me of those guys that's just unblockable, and he can beat you in so many ways. I think that if there was probably somebody that if you were going to give 100 to, he's probably one of the ones as well on the defensive side of the ball, because he's honestly the best defensive player in the NFL. And he's been the best defensive player for a long time. It hasn't just been recently. Like for me, for TJ Watt, he's kind of moved himself into the conversation. Myles Garrett has been putting in the work for a long time.
Yeah, 100%. 2 years ago, he beat the Colts by himself.
Yeah.
He had like 4 strip sacks, recovered it for a touchdown, 28 points.
Right. And so with him, you know, I believe he's one of those guys that he's probably going to be that guy. Now, last one, running back, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he is. I think it was a perfect storm last year for him. Obviously, upgrading talent around him. That Eagles offensive line is just phenomenal. Saquon's got a ton of talent in the world. I'm not saying he's not a talented running back, but when he did that backwards jump by that player, you'll never see that again.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that, you know, obviously that is a huge thing. For me, he was just on the best team. You know, to me, I mean, he had so many weapons around him. I mean, to have the wide receiver core that they have over there with Jalen Hurts being able to run the ball, you immediately have to honor him on the, you know, keeping the ball and not giving it to Saquon. I believe he's a great running back. I believe he was one of, if not the best running back in the National Football League last year. But do I believe that he gets a 99? I believe if they're going to give him the 99, I believe they'll give it to him. I believe they gave it to him because of last year.
He's on the records. Cover. He's got to be the 99.
He's got to be the 99. I get it. I didn't realize he was on the cover, but I do remember now that you said that. But the fact of the matter is I believe that was just a, you know, because he was going to, they thought maybe he was going to win the MVP as well. And when he didn't, there was, you know, the Philly fans, they were pretty rough. And, you know, so I think they gave it to him. And so, you know, to me,
you can make an argument that he was the best player on that Philly team last year.
Yeah, I believe so. And so we'll end it with that. It was a great day.
It was a great day.
First day. We're so excited to be here on the Afternoon Underdogs. I've been your host today, and I will be here for a long time, your host. Paul Wilson here. We're going to be signing out. We'll see you tomorrow, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Catch you tomorrow.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the northwest, mostly clear skies and 83. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 92. In the afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some sun and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 92. About the same at 89 Wednesday, and we'll have a variety of sunshine and possible thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to